Now we're going to take you to a village in Devon called Dowland. It's right in the centre of Devon, and villagers there discovered that 3 fallen soldiers from the First World War had never really been acknowledged with a memorial, and so they set out to put that right.
The result was 5,000 poppies cascading down the side of the church, and we can have a look at it now, I think. We're going to be live there in just a moment, actually. We'll get a look at that in a moment. First, though, let's hear the story.
5,000 poppies made by one community to remember the lives of 3 local men. 21-year-old George Westcott, 29-year-old William Piper and his younger brother, 21-year-old Arthur, all died in the service of their country during the First World War. But their names are not on any war memorial, and until recently their stories were forgotten.
To bring back our lads has been a real honour, really.
That's what it feels like, bringing back the lads.
Yes, definitely. I think we've forgotten them in this village for no fault of our own, but now we know about them. We've done something to remember them by.
I think we got this down to a fine art.
Making the poppies and researching the men's stories brought the village together.
As a mum myself of 2 sons, probably 100 years ago, I would have been a mum who my sons wouldn't have come home. So I think it's important for us to remember this.
Yeah, it's true. Exactly the same reasons. I mean, Dowland didn't have a war memorial at all, like all the other villages. So it was time they were recognised.
The poppies and an exhibition about the 3 men will be on display this weekend and next. But outside there's now a permanent memorial in the shape of a bench made by local craftsmen.
The design really centres around a field gate, seen as all the 3 lads that died were farm workers before they got sent away. We felt as though the gate represented a good rural sort of backdrop. Their names have been lost to us. We were completely unaware of until very recently that they had given their lives for this country, for this parish, that they'd left and been forgotten, and we felt that that was wrong.
It's hoped now that future visitors to the village can sit and contemplate the global conflict which touched even the quietest corners of England.
Well, let's see what it looks like this morning in daylight, Saturday morning. You get this rather wonderful shimmering effect, don't you, on the church spire there. And Ben Boulos is there for us this morning. Ben, it does look beautiful.
It's really beautiful, and it's so moving, those poppies just fluttering in the autumnal breeze here. Thousands of them in a project that's been, well, lovingly put together pretty much by the whole village here in Dowland in Devon. We can speak to some of those who've been involved in making it all happen. We've got Mary and Claire who made some of the poppies. My goodness, what a project. You must be so pleased with how it's all turned out.
Very proud of it, very proud.
And what made you want to get involved?
The 3 soldiers were lost in the First World War from here, and for some reason there was no memorial put to them. So 100 years on, a bit late, but never mind, we thought we'd do something about it. So what you see is what we've done.
And Sue came up with this wonderful idea, and we pitched in and helped her do it.
And the display outside is stunning, but inside it continues as well. I mean, that is just such a beautiful continuation of it. And all of those handmade.
They
Yes,
were.
all of them.
Absolutely. I mean, some were made, Mary, weren't they, in 2019.
Yeah.
All the ones you see outside were made by all the residents, all the community here.
Okay. What a stunning, what a beautiful thing, what a beautiful tribute to have been involved in making a reality.
Yes, yes.
Now, one of those whose name is mentioned on the memorial bench here and who the project is paying tribute to is George Westcott. Hilary is one of his descendants. Hilary, how did you feel when you heard this project was being done to commemorate the sacrifice one of your ancestors had made?
Oh, well, it's a lovely tribute. We didn't actually know until a few years ago when the original poppy display was done about George, so it's meant we can look in and look back and find out more about it.
And there's a plaque on the bench with George's name on. And how much were you aware of his existence and his involvement in the First World War and his dying and serving his country?
No, we weren't aware at all until a few years ago, and now we're looking back to see he was my granddad's uncle, but he died before he was born, so we didn't really know much about him.
And the significance of the style of bench is that he, like so many others, were farm workers originally whose lives changed completely.
Yeah, we're still farming, so it's a nice link. It's a beautiful bench, and yeah, very touching for this area.
Okay. Hilary, thank you very much indeed. Now, it is a project that has brought the whole village together. Dozens of people have taken part. We've got some of the members of the village gathered here with us this morning, and I want to introduce you to some of the younger members here. We've got Henry, Ellen, Ben, Madeline and Archie. I think I've got everyone's names right. We're going to finish up just giving you a few moments to take in the beauty of the project that everyone here has created. Just take a few moments to reflect and to take in the solemnity of it all as the younger members of the village recite those famous words for us from the poem For the Fallen.
They shall not grow old, as we that are left grow old.
Age shall not weary them, nor the years condemn. At the going down of the sun, and in the morning, we will remember them. We will remember them.